Back in like 2005, 2006, Sony kept putting out these commercials that were selling these televisions, but these commercials were like all dealing in color. One of the first ones, maybe the second ones, it was all about paint. And it was like this building in the UK. And it was like, I wouldn't say the projects, but it was a whole bunch of buildings. And they were just like shooting paint, like all kinds of paint, like fireworks, until it began to rain color. What a cool, and I think it was like color like no other was the slogan. And then they came out with another commercial, and this might have been the first one, was where they took 250,000 bouncy balls and then they went shooting them all through, I guess in a specific neighborhood in San Francisco. And I love this commercial. I remember that it had this like beautiful song, and I remember watching the documentary, and I remember like there was like this one scene where like this frog came out and all that. And then I watched the behind the scenes and they were like, oh no, we staged that. And I was just like, that was absolutely beautiful. So I remember like sending this link and blogging about it and like letting everybody know that this commercial exists. This is like 2005. I was living in Orlando at the time. I had just graduated from Full Sail. I had got my first industry job or whatever. But working at that job, I would always wanted to like keep my eyes sharp. So I was watching like really cool commercials and short films and basically anything that would allow me to know what was good and what was bad by looking at it. And so that happened, and I still do that. I'll still buy a coffee and flip through magazines and Barnes and Nobles and that kind of thing. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm back in New York. I live here now, and I'm doing the same thing. This time I'm walking around the West Village, basically gallery hopping. They had like a specific day, and they still have it. They have it in Chelsea, they have it in Tribeca, they have it in the West Village. There's like a specific day where all the openings happen and the wine starts rolling out and people of all creative ages and backgrounds come out and they look at art, me included. But I'm at one of these events, but this time I'm just like passing through. And on the way home, this lady goes, hey, if you give us your email, you could win some art. And I'm like, say less. So I write my email down and I don't think anything of it. And I go home. The next few days, I get an email saying, hey, that art, you want it. And so I'm like, say less. I go back to the gallery. They give me the art. I open it up and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, I know what this is. And it is 3 pictures, a triptych of a scene or one of the scenes from the commercial. It still blows my mind to this day that I was obsessing about this commercial and then 10 years later, this thing just falls into my lap for free. So I say all that to say this, take the shot. You never know.